Hey everyone, and welcome back to Joy at Work. I hope you're doing well. It's great to be with you again. I'm really glad to be back to making short videos to talk about joy at work and what you and I can do to increase our experience of joy in the workplace and even outside of the workplace. Today's Friday, April 11th, and I'm normally, at least for a while now, don't really mention the day of the week or anything like that. But today's a special day in a different sense because April 11th is my dad's birthday. And if you follow me online, you know that my dad passed away a few months ago, and I've been sort of walking through that journey of dealing with grief and navigating that and just having to deal with that. One of the phrases two phrases that have stuck with me, and just share this before we get into the topic of today, is the price we pay for love is grief. And that's true. So it's just one of those package deals. If you're going to love somebody, then just be open to the fact that you will maybe experience grief somewhere along the way. But the second one is that we don't get over grief, so to speak. We learn how to live with it. And that's essentially what I'm trying to do. So, given that today's April 11th and my dad was very big on work and the work experience, I just committed that I was going to do a joy at work video today. So, here we are. Long intro. I hope you just forgive me for that. Let's get into the topic because I am in this space of talking about slowing down or the unhurried life and how it applies to the workplace. And I was thinking recently about the concept of the retrospective, and it might be called different things in different kind of work contexts or work domains or different methods or what have you, or protocols even. But if you're familiar with Scrum, you know that there's this thing called the retrospective, and it's this time in the sprint, this time box of work focused activities where a team is supposed to pause and reflect on the work that they've done. And I've really been thinking about this because there's a lot of talk from thought leaders out there that suggest, well, you don't need a fixed time to stop and pause and reflect and this, that, and the other thing. And they're right. Like, if there's an opportunity to learn, why not learn? But what's also true is that human beings appreciate ritual and rhythms. And so that intentional rhythm of pausing to reflect on what we've done, I think is so vitally important. And you can do that poorly. And so this is not an excuse for doing it poorly. And maybe we'll talk about how to spend that time in a productive manner. But pausing as an individual and as a team in an intentional way, I think is so important and so like meaningful to us and setting up the regular rhythm for the ritual of pause so that you reflect on what's going on and learn from it and just grow from it. It's John Dewey who said, like, we don't learn from experience. We learn from reflecting on experience. And so many people don't learn, or we don't learn the things we need to learn because we don't pause to reflect on our experience. We just have the experience and then move on to the next thing because we're in this world where it's the next thing, one thing after the other. We live in a world of hurry. So, my kind of challenge to you right now as you reflect is, when do you pause? What rhythms and cadences do you have in your life for your ritual of pause? And what does that ritual look like? Maybe next time we'll talk about how to make the pause to reflect meaningful. But what does it look like for you? What does it look like for your team? I'm really convinced that pausing and reflecting opens up like just new avenues for us of getting better. And when we get better, when we slow down, when we take deep breaths, we experience more fully what's going on around us. And when we experience more fully what's going on around us, then we have the opportunity to experience joy at work. So here's what I'm saying. You want to experience more joy at work and in life more broadly, you gotta pause. And don't pause in just an ad hoc, like random way, but develop a rhythm, a cadence for pausing, and then create a ritual that surrounds it. The retrospective in Scrum is an example of this. Poorly practiced, conversation for another day, but the intention is, in my mind, spot on and something that we should just be talking about more. All right, that's it. Thanks for joining me again. Hopefully, this series on the unhurried work experience is something that you'll find valuable. I'll see you next time. Be safe. Oh, and go Gunners.